Many people were coming and going, so there was no time to eat. Now, I bet you can relate to that line that we just heard in our gospel lesson. I know I can. On Thursday, for example, I overscheduled myself. I didn't mean to. It was just kind of the way that the day laid itself out. I woke up a little later than I wanted, got myself ready, and I rushed out of the door and forgot to eat breakfast, which rarely happens. Then my second meeting of the day started late, so it ended late. Well, my third meeting was supposed to be just a 15-minute call, but I was 15 minutes late for it because of the previous meeting, so it ran into noon. And well, the 15-minute call turned into an hour call, and well, now it's 12:45, and I still haven't eaten anything. But I don't have time to go out because there's another meeting in 30 minutes. Well, I wish I'd thought to put some easy microwave meals in the freezer here, I'm thinking. And on a day like this during the school year, I could just pop over to the kitchen, and the school lunch crew will usually have enough spare lunches for a harried priest. And it's fun to have a hot dog or chicken fingers or fish bites or something when I'm hungry at lunchtime, just like the kids do. Well, during the summer, the cupboard is bare. So I just have to sneak into Mother Liz's office and steal a fig bar. Don't tell her. She'll notice after a while that the fig bars are really starting to disappear. But the day went on like that, and I finally got an actual delicious meal at supper time, but there was really no time even to eat during the day. And while it's the disciples who are living this kind of existence in the gospel reading this morning, it's not just the work of discipleship that looks like this. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that kind of day where you're always running to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you don't have time for even a bite to eat. We're so busy taking care of the pressing that there is little time for the significant, whether that significant thing is basic self-care or the more significant things about our work that we know need attention, but the immediate is constantly calling. There are some things that just need to happen now. Well, ironically, what we're doing in these situations is fasting. We all fast every night when we go to bed, and then we don't eat again until we have break fast. Sometimes we are moving fast towards other things, and there's no time to eat. Now, if you choose an intentional fast in spiritual terms, it means you are moving fast towards God. You are focusing all of your attention on God as a path of spiritual growth. Most of the fasts we undertake, though, are because our lives are so busy, and our attention is focused on the pressing. Come by yourselves to a secluded place and rest for a while. Jesus tells the apostles this as they return from their 2x2 mission that he sent them out on earlier in this chapter. You might remember this from a couple of weeks ago in the reading. Jesus sent them out in pairs with only a walking stick and the clothes on their back. And then that story gets interrupted by the one we heard last week of Herod and John the Baptist. And then Mark brings it back around for their return. Now you might notice that the disciples are called apostles here. It's the first time this happens in Mark, and it's simply because that's what apostle means. It means one who is sent. A disciple is a student, and an apostle is one sent on a mission. So the sent ones are returning from being sent. This is why when we say the creeds, we speak of one holy Catholic and apostolic church. Our mission is an apostolic one. It's one we are sent on. And you're also seeing in today's gospel, ironically, a passage about not having anything to eat, a Markan sandwich. Yes, this is like a real scholarly term, Markan sandwich. Mark loves to do this. He will tell a story, and then he'll interrupt it with another story that covers the action going on in the background, and then he goes back to the first story. So the apostles are sent on their mission. We get this story about the death of John the Baptist, which shows us that doing God's mission can be dangerous, and then the apostles return. Jesus then shows us what a discipleship, apostleship pattern ought to look like. They go out on mission, they return and they debrief that mission, and then Jesus says, "Come by yourselves to a secluded place and rest a while. Go and do by all means, but come back and share what has happened and then get some rest." All of it is important, the whole cycle. What good are depleted apostles who hold all of their excitement and frustration inside? What good are depleted people in general? I know that I am not at my best when I have not eaten or slept, or if I'm carrying something around that I probably need to process out loud with another person. But our culture values productivity, doing, going, constantly moving, and does so at the expense of our well-being. I mean, I experience more and more that stories like the one I told earlier about myself, where I was working so hard that I didn't have time to care for myself, these kind of stories are almost badges of honor in our society. It's commonplace to say to someone, "Hey, it's nice to see you. How have you been?" And to hear the answer, "Oh, busy." I don't doubt it. We're all busy. But is that actually a good thing? You might have seen stories in the news lately about people who are experimenting around the world with 4-day work weeks. And I know that this has got to really rub up against our Protestant work ethic, but remember, it's called a Protestant work ethic, not a Christian work ethic, because Jesus does not propose that we run ourselves in the ground. Proponents of the 4-day work week say it actually improves productivity and morale in the workplace, and I would not doubt it. We are all better focused when we actually take care of ourselves. But even though it would make us all better at work, even though it would make us all better with our families, even though it would make us all better in our communities, we are stuck in this cycle of burning ourselves out. And can we really keep it up? Now, when it comes to our job as clergy, people will say to me and Mother Liz frequently something along these lines. "Well, yes, I went to the hospital, but I didn't call you because I know that you are busy." Of course I am busy. We are all busy at something. But you know what I am busy at a lot? Visiting people in the hospital when they are sick. If you are sick, if you are in the hospital, or if you are just going through something rough, do not think, "Well, I call Father Rob, but I know he's busy. I'd call Mother Liz, but I know she has a lot on her plate." Let me or Mother Liz be busy at supporting you, because that's what we are here for. It's what we are called to do. When you don't call us, you don't allow us to do our ministry. Believe me, not every day looks like last Thursday. Some days are up, some days are down, and it's like that for all of us. And most importantly, you need to call us because we actually care about you very much. In this gospel passage, even as Jesus is calling the disciples away to a secluded place, he gets interrupted by sheer human need. It happens sometimes. Mark tells us Jesus had compassion on them, so he sits and he begins to teach while the apostles are in the background taking a breather, and they do some listening themselves. Our reading skips the part of the story with the feeding of the multitudes. Don't worry if you're sad that you missed it. Starting next week, we take a break from Mark, and we will spend a whole month in John chapter 6 on the feeding story and what's called the bread of life discourse. So get ready to be highly entertained by preachers trying to unpack a bread metaphor for a month. Mother Liz is at Camp Hartner this week, so maybe I should just schedule her for the next 5 weeks and we can all enjoy her trying to figure this out. I won't do that to her. I'll have compassion. Anyway, call on us when you need us. We are never too busy to share compassion with you when you are hurting. Because that's the other thing. Thus far, I've been putting us in the role of the apostles here. and thinking about our busy lives like theirs. I think there's a tendency when we read gospel stories especially to always put ourselves in that position, and I understand why. But we are the desperate crowds too, because we are all hurting in one way or another. Sometimes we're going through things that are right there on the surface and are very apparent, but a lot of times it's all below the surface. Sometimes we use our busyness to cover up our pain, whether it's physical or emotional, which is why when you are in pain or you're going through something emotional and somebody comes up and says, "Hey, how's it going? It's really nice to see you. How you doing?" And you go, "Oh, I'm fine." And you're not fine. When we think of human need, we often think of what we believe are more desperate places, more desperate people than, us. Maybe the residents of Lakeview in general. Yes, in a lot of ways, there are places and persons in our own city who live more difficult lives than we do. But that does not mean that even the residents of 70124 don't have some pain and desperation in their lives. Whether it's sick loved ones, our own physical pain or illness, instances of addiction, abuse, family dysfunction, we all have pain. And there's no good in comparing it to others. We only know our own pain and only have our own capacity to deal with it. Don't compare. Yes, we are absolutely called to do work outside of our own bubbles, but it's worth asking, how in our lives and in this place do we need Jesus' compassion? How in my life and in this place do I need Jesus' healing? Because we all need compassion. We all need healing. Even you and even me. Let me say to you this morning, congratulations. If you are here this morning, or if you are watching us online this morning, you have taken a first and important step, a vital step, in listening to and obeying the words of Jesus. Come by yourselves to a secluded place and rest a while. You have set aside your busy life, and you have come to a place where you can find comfort and healing with other people in God's worship. You have come to be with others who are seeking to go out on God's mission, seeking to return for reflection and rest. In what other ways do you need Jesus' compassion and healing? The invitation is to try to make the time and the space to do this, not just every week, but every day. To take care of yourself so that you can do the work of caring for others on a daily basis. Life is going to interrupt all the time. It's just the way it is. It interrupted Jesus too. But he often gets away in the Gospels to replenish himself, to spend time in prayer. He knew that he couldn't do what he needed to do otherwise. And he encourages these same practices in his followers. He knew that in order to get busy loving others, he also had to get busy loving himself. So what in the world are you waiting for? Get busy.